Hey y'all! Welcome to another session of Christy's Craft Corners. Today we're going to be doing some more face painting, more for the Halloween aesthetic, but of course you can use these face paints anytime. Today we are going to be doing a scarecrow face. So I'm going to be using our face paint watercolor palettes, which means you need your paintbrushes, your sponges, and your water, as well as your face paint. I said that twice. The colors we're going to be using today are very scarecrow themed, so we're going to be using our two yellows, our lighter and our darker, our orange. I'm going to be using a little gold because I always like to add a little metallic for a little extra oomph. Our two browns and our black. So very fall colors. We're not going to be using red today, but of course you're more than welcome to use red if you do this, or change the colors up entirely. We're going to be doing a very basic scarecrow today, so let's go ahead and get started. So we're going to do above the eyebrows a little bit, and a nice little patch, like so. I might have a little too much water, which picks up more color than it ends up paying down. The next part we're going to do is our nose. Now we're not going to do the whole nose, we're going to do just around the bridge and this little rounded part here. So I'm going to just go ahead and just like that. And we're going to do some more on our cheeks. If you want to see exactly where you want to get, right here along the cheekbone and just under. But again, really, you could do your entire cheek, you could do just little small circles. We're going to get right in here and just up the cheekbone just a little bit. And then we're going to do the same thing to the other side. And then we're going to do a little bit on our chin, just like that much. And so now everywhere that you have your lighter yellow, we're going to go back over it with our darker yellow, leaving just a little bit of that light yellow on the edges for highlighting purposes. So let's go ahead and get our dark yellow on there. So now you can see the dark yellow is really coming out a little more clearly. You're going to have some highlights of that lighter yellow around. It just kind of like naturally fades into it. I know in this camera it's a little bit harder to see, but in your pictures and just in person it'll show up a little bit better. But now we're going to move on to the orange. We're going to do the same thing, adding it in everywhere we have our two yellows, but we're going to leave a little bit of a halo around it, just so it can kind of fade in. And now you have all the places that you want highlighted. If you want to elongate any certain areas, add in some little extra colors, do little touch-ups, go ahead and do that now before we start adding detailing back over it, just as you see me doing as I'm looking at it all. So first we're gonna go ahead and do our little freckles. You can use a mixture of light brown and dark brown for this one. You could just do one or the other. They're all gonna sit on top of where you already have like your orange areas, and they're gonna go across your nose and cheeks. The only part you don't want to bring it directly over is the part of your nose that is yellow and orange. So But for example, we're just going to add a few little freckles. This is the lighter brown, so I'm going to do a few in each color. And now I'm going to do the darker brown, and I'm going to do the darker brown using the fine tip brush and just dotting so I can get even more freckles on it. As somebody who naturally has freckles, I do have a bunch in various sizes and lightness and darkness. So and you can add more freckles or fewer freckles. You can go beyond where you put your little cheeks. These are all just for highlighting purposes. You detail it as much as you want. So the next part that we're going to do, after you clean that brush off, we're actually going to use that same brush. We're going to use our black now, and we're going to do our little nose. So we are going to make that one look a little bit patch-like. Not like a square rectangular patch, but almost like a little carrot shaped. So we're basically just going to outline what we've got on there already in the black. So now it's outlined, and then to make it a little bit more patch-like, we're just going to put like some stitches across it. So just like little X's like that. So now we have a little patchwork around there. You can make them bigger, you can make them smaller. They're just meant to kind of go around like that. The thing I'm going to add in is just some like little lined stitches. I've got a nice little patchy nose. And then we're going to do our mouth. So this one you can do with makeup, you can do with lipstick, you can do with the face paint, which I'm going to this time. But I would check your face paints first to see if that's something that you want near on your mouth. Mine's not going to be there very long. If you did, you'd probably want something like protective over it. But I'm just going to show you just so you can see. So we're going to use our flat brush, and we're going to go in the same order that we did all the highlighting of our cheeks around. And first we're going to outline our mouth. In that lightest yellow. And again, you don't have to do your mouth. This is just going to kind of help with that aesthetic a little. And then we're going to do the gold. I say gold, it's like a golden yellow, the darker yellow. Sorry, not to be confusing. And finally, we're going to use the orange. Looking good so far. We want that to dry a little first. While that is drying, if you did want to use like actual gold, this is when I would add it in with for freckles or something like that, just to add to your other freckles. You could have always used it as like one of your first bases, like before the light yellow, so that you've got a metallic sheen like the whole time. I'm just going to go ahead and add in some gold freckles. So you won't see them very well on the cam. They are there, and they're going to look great in the light. Now Now that my mouth is dry and our little bit of gold is done, see that didn't take very long, we're gonna go ahead and finish off our mouth. We're gonna be using black. It's gonna be stitching again. So before we do it directly over the lips, we're gonna kind of extend our mouth. I know that sounds weird. We're gonna extend our smile. So from the corners of your mouth, you want to bring them kind of up to your cheeks or out towards your cheeks. I'm going to do kind of out. Like that. So they do go up, but they kind of go out first. You're going to do the same thing on the other side. And then you want to kind of thicken that towards where it meets at the corners until it thins out towards the cheeks. Now that we have the smile going out, I know it looks a little weird and creepy right now, but once we add all the little detailing in, it'll look cool and possibly still creepy. We're going to do little X's across it, so we're just going to bring them down, keeping our brush vertical like this. And notice how they get smaller as they get further away from the mouth. And lastly, just a little itty bitty one. You don't even have to brush it on, you can just kind of dab it on. And then we're going to use our fine tip brush again, and we're going to add some stitching over the mouth, but not in X's. We are going to do... So we're going to go directly down the middle and work our way out. So I brought the mouth stitching just a little bit more into the mouth to make it look just a little more natural. But essentially we're done. If you want to add even more details, more stitching again somewhere for like patchwork, you could even do it like across the neck to make it creepier, or more fun. I mean, scarecrows, you know, they're like put together. You can bring these stitches higher and lower. And essentially we've got ourselves a scarecrow, and you're all done and ready for Halloween. Thanks so much. Hope you enjoyed this video. We will be doing more videos in the future, crafting, face paint, body paint. You name it, we'll probably do it. If there's something in particular you want to see face painted or body painted, please leave a comment below, and don't forget to subscribe so that you can stay updated whenever we have new videos to post. Thanks so much. See y'all next time.